Hey there, it's Maisha with the Collab Lab, and Bing is back. I'm sure you've heard the news that the Browse with Bing option is back in GPT. And it's always a treat, right? When you go into your chat GPT multiple times a day, like me. I'm just moving my camera over here and I'll give you a little avatar. But it's great to go in, click on your options, and see a new beta feature. So Browse Bing is back. I've turned it on and I wanted to test it out for you. And spoiler alert, it let me down, but I want to let you be the judge of it. So check out these three user experiments I did, or three use cases I explored as a recruiter using ChatGPT. So let's hop into it. So first, I decided to compare ChatGPT Browse with Bing with Claude. And then I said, let me add one more to the mix. Let me add my makeshift internet GPT combo, which is ChatGPT Plus with Access Link, which is a plugin. As you can see, I'll minimize this for now. This is a plugin called Access Link. So I wanted to compare the three. So I gave each of the three the exact same prompts. And I'm going to walk you through how each performed. And you can be the judge of it. Okay. So let's start with Browse with Bing. All right. So using only web browsing, as you can see here, these are my custom instructions. So that's nothing new. I asked a simple question. The first question is, what's the job market look like for physicians in British Columbia? And I was really curious to see with this first question. Here it is. And I wanted to see what links the Bing browser would automatically check. And so as I was watching in real time, it finished browsing, but it was not able to retrieve information due to a technical hiccup. So this was the first letdown. Okay. So it gave me some generic information, but it could not access the web straight out the gate. Bing is back, but is being whack. Okay. Next up, I said, okay, I did a little bit of my own human research and I pulled a link, okay, to see if it could access a link. And so I asked to please confirm your response against the data here and note any additional insights. So, instead of asking Bing to just figure out where to go, now I'm directing it where to go. And I pulled this link, which is a working link. I'll just share it with you here. So this is the provincial information about professions, and try to let Bing do its thing. And after it finished browsing, it said it had encountered another technical issue while trying to access the page. So that was a fail, epic fail on the first task. Now I asked Claude the same two questions. He gave me, a very verbose answer. I asked him to cite his sources. He said he could not. Then I gave that same link that I gave Browse with Bing over in ChatGPT to Claude. And the interesting thing here is that it clearly says that Claude cannot visit links and that responses may contain hallucination. So I knew going in that it's very unlikely that he's actually going to access this data and refer to it. But it came back, it said that reviewing the data, some of his earlier information was inaccurate. So I thought, that's really interesting. So I would have to go back now, right? Because this is already likely a hallucination. I would have to go back against the link I provided and some of this reply from Claude to see if it's actual and factual. But I don't know. I can't score that 100% because, again, Claude can't visit links, right? So here we are. So the final contender is back to ChatGPT 4. Instead of browsing with Bing, it was Access Link. So that's basic GPT plus the plugin called Access Link, which is this blue icon up here. And starting at the top, what's the job market look like? It did not go out to the web. It does not go out on its own, but I know that it can go and search a link. So I answered that same link. An access link was used. You can click down here and you can see the actual response from access link. You can see it looking through the data, which is nice, right? So you're verifying that it actually did retrieve some data. And then it gives you some updates and some additions. So I gotta say, for the first task out the gate, ChatGPT 4 with Access Link is the winner. And Access Link has been like so trusty. I've been using this plugin for months and it has not failed. So props to GPT with Access Link. All right. Second task, I asked the 3 chatbots this question. What can you tell me about the spread between remote, hybrid, and on-site jobs in Charlotte? Okay. And then I followed up with a specific link from LinkedIn that has a search for jobs in Charlotte just to see if it could access, right, this URL within public facing LinkedIn jobs. All right. So I'll start again with Bing, who's our crowd fave, or at least we're hoping for it to be. We're happy it's back here in GPT. Here we go. So what can you tell me about the spread of jobs? We see that it's finished browsing, and then it says the information regarding the spread wasn't accessible from the sources I attempted to consult. So this is the second time we've tried to use Bing, and the link that it's choosing itself without direction, it cannot access. Then it gives you some generic info, which is likely from the training data that we know goes through September 2021 or January 2022, depending on what reports you believe. Next up, I followed up with my specific LinkedIn search link, which I showed you here, which is, with jobs that are on-site, hybrid, and remote. And Bing says again, I was not able to access the page due to technical constraints. So 2 for 2, not able to get on the web. I'm really disappointed. And I think the rumor I heard, or maybe I read it, the reason that Bing was taken out of GPT initially was that it was going in behind firewalls or paywalls, I think. Not firewalls, paywalls, and letting people read articles that shouldn't have been read without a subscription. So whatever fine tuning they did, it looks like it's just not very powerful. It cannot read beyond what it can, what it already has in its database, which is unfortunate. So that's 2 times that it's failed. Let's see how Claude did. Asked the same question about the spread of jobs. It gave me what it had, and I asked it to extrapolate. And even though Claude can't visit links, it says reviewing the data, here are some additional insights. So again, I would have to check. It may likely be hallucination, or this disclaimer is just super cautious on Anthropic's part, and maybe Claude can visit links. I don't know. I don't know why it would say that, right? It's saying that the prevalence of remote and hybrid roles is high for this search, right? Remote and hybrid. Let's just compare it with the site. So if we have 4,900 altogether, we take off on-site, we drop down to 3,688. So yeah, that doesn't, I don't know. The majority are remote and hybrid, obviously. So yeah, that looks accurate, but I don't know if I can trust Claude. Let's go to the final contender, which is GPT-4 with Access Link. And I'm going to scroll up a little bit. All right. The spread of roles. And then here it is, my last update. Yes, it is January 2022 and not September 2021 anymore. It gives us the data, and then I supply the link. And it also says it's not able to access the link because of cookie settings. So at least it gives us a little bit more to go on. So that looks like the score so far from my tally, again here informally. Bing is 0 for 2. Access Link, I would say, is 1 for 2. And Claude is kind of null because we don't know if the information is accurate. So there you have it. All right, last one. I asked Claude as well as GPT this question. Can you craft a custom email to a candidate for this role? And I linked to the role. This is the actual role at Iterable. And I think I had copied and pasted the text here just for my own sake. It's a very long job description, as you see. But I just asked for them to go to the link and see what they could retrieve from there. So let's start again with Bing, browsing with Bing. And we asked for an email. Okay. to this candidate for this role. Keep it mobile, friendly, and readable. Let me go ahead and pop that in there. And I want to show you that that is a real link that can be accessed on the internet, which is what Bing is supposed to let us do. It's what Access Link is supposed to let us do. But let's see what happened. So with Bing, finished browsing, and for the third time, it was unable to access the specific details of the role from the link due to technical constraints. So 0 out of 3 times, Bing was able to actually access the link that I provided, which is really, really a bummer. And these were 3 different links, right? So that is that. That's the end of the Bing story. Let's go to Claude. Okay, here's, can you craft a custom email for this role? Here it is. Keep it mobile friendly and readable. And it can't visit links, but it gave us a actual email. And I can tell already that it's hallucinating because when I click on the link here, this is for a talent acquisition ops manager at Iterable. And already here in Claude, you see that it's a Silicon Valley BDR opportunity with MoveWorks. Wow. So absolute. I'm going to change Claude's score from null to 0 out of 3. Wow. Really disappointing. Wow, he's just making up stuff very confidently. All right. And Anthropic tells us that that's what it's known to do. So plausible but incorrect. Last chance for the bots to impress us. Back to Access Link, my trusty fave. Let's see how Access Link did. All right. I'm going to get to the right part. Here we go. So can you craft a custom email for this role? Keep it mobile friendly and readable. And unfortunately, it was not able to access the link from the LinkedIn page. So that's another, I think, 0. Okay, so access link is 1 for 3. Bing was 0 for 3. And Claude was 0 for 3 in terms of accurately fetching a link that you provided and getting the information. So this is really interesting. So I'm going to stick with Access Link. It sounds like maybe LinkedIn has some cookie settings that's making it harder to access. I know Wikipedia, for instance, is a site that might likely be pretty open. Let's just do a quick test on that site, Wikipedia. Is it .org? Yeah. And let's say recruiting. Okay. And let's just put this link there. And let's just say this is Access Link. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Bing because we've been doing it in the order of Bing, Claude, then Access Link, BCA. So I'm going to say, what does the second sentence on this page say? Just to see if we can keep it honest and do a quick check and see if Bing can access it, since it couldn't access any of the other links. We know Wikipedia is pretty open. All right. So we got at least one call from Bing and GPT. It says this article is about filling vacancies in an organization. Interesting. I feel like that's the first sentence and not the second sentence, right? Unless they're counting this as a sentence, which is just a header. Okay, let's see if we can test it. What is the first sentence under the sourcing section? Maybe we'll do that. What is the first sentence in the sourcing section? Or we can better say, what does the first sentence in the sourcing section say? Just to see if it can actually go there. And that's good. Maybe it's okay. The first sentence reads, sourcing is the use of one or more strategies to attract or identify candidates to fill vacancies. Okay, we got it. All right. So Bing is now 1 for 4. It actually got out on the net that fourth time when we weren't using a LinkedIn link. Let's look at the links we used. I used a BC Provincial link and I used 2 LinkedIn links. Okay, so maybe that's why it was at a little bit of a disadvantage. So maybe it works well for non-LinkedIn sites, LinkedIn pages. So for this one, Wikipedia, we got accessed. Okay. So that's really interesting. And I'll let you continue to compare if you like. So is Bing whack, or did I just choose the wrong site to explore? I don't know. I can't say for sure, but I do know that the experimentation will continue, and I will definitely keep you posted on this very station. See you next time. Ciao for now.